By me and members of the National Working Committee in seeing that we carry out the first order of business in our party, and that is the total reconciliation of all the state branches of the APC that were held hostage by avoidable grievances. The evidence of the new unity of purpose is seen clearly and positively in the conduct of the primaries at local government and state levels. We have fought the conduct of primaries elected candidates for the state houses of assembly, the House of Reps, the Senate, and the state governorship elections for the 2023 general elections. The elections were predominantly peaceful, free and fair to all who participated in them. The results have been accepted by the winners and the losers alike. But I must admit, in all honesty, there are some gray areas which are being addressed, as has been the case in our practice of democracy during elections. I must also confess that efforts are required to work towards perfecting the electoral processes in our great country. This feat would not have been attained without the cooperation of everyone concerned. It is a clear indication that our party has emerged stronger from the grievances. We are united and are speaking with one voice once more. And at the end of the current exercise, we shall begin a steady march towards the 2023 general elections, buoyed by our resolute commitment to win and win big at all levels of elective offices up for contest. I salute all of us. We begin this day the final lap in the preparations towards the 2023 general elections. The leaders and stakeholders in our party are gathered here with us. This is their day, and this is their time. The contest for who flies the flag for the party as presidential candidate has been robust, but generally sober and statesmanlike. We welcome all those who threw their hats into the ring. They are patriots with a zeal to build on the foundation of comprehensive national development laid by President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. The contest for president in all the political parties has heated the polity. It is particularly so with our party, which parades the largest number of aspirants. It is said that in war, as in all serious socio-political contests, truth is the first casualty. It is so in this context. We have watched with growing concern the feeding frenzy in the mainstream media and the irrelevant social media. The general public is daily fed with facts that are no longer fiction about our party and even the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Wild speculations, half-truths, and blatant lies dominate political discourse because they are calculated attempts to mislead the uninformed and excite primordial sentiments. We recognize the people's right to freedom of speech and of the press, but all freedoms impose a measure of responsibility on those who exercise them and how they are exercised. A reckless exercise of that freedom from the high and the low impinges on the rights and responsibilities of all citizens. The struggle for the attainment of political power is a personal and legitimate aspiration, but it must not be the reason to divide our party or tear us apart. The inherent beauty in democracy is that all those who seek the mandate of the people must submit themselves to the judgment of the people in the electoral process. If we were to go by individual self-assessment as a yardstick of best persons for the job, we would not have democracy. We would have instead a government of the self-indulgent, but the self-indulgent. It would be a strange form of government, unknown to the rest of the world. We should have no desire to give birth to such a strange form of government in our country. In my address to the extraordinary meeting of the National Executive Committee on the 20th of April this year, I drew attention to the need for our party to be disciplined. It bears repeating that a political party such as the APC, the ruling party, at the heart of our national development, must be exemplary in discipline and fidelity to its own core values. Washing our dirty leanings in the public is not a mark of courage. It is a mark of irresponsibility. Indiscipline and the indisciplination to obey extant rules and regulations and play by them. We have nothing to gain from portraying our party in bad light. We have everything to lose by undermining the integrity of our great party. I found necessary to make these observations in order to prepare our minds for the conduct of the primaries. It is no easy task, but a task that must be done and done successfully with the satisfaction of all concerned. The successful conduct of the convention will be a feather in the caps of all the leaders and the members of our great party. It will be an achievement shared by all of us and members of one family. This convention is authorized both by party constitution and the extant laws of our great country, conduct our national elections to elect its flag bearer in next year's general election. Many have been called to this forum, but only one man or woman will get the party's endorsement. As they say, many are called, but in this case, only one will be chosen. This will be democracy in action, in the true sense of the phrase. Electoral decisions have inherited disappointments such that the man or woman considered to be the best does not get the prize. Some of us have been through those crucibles before. It is not strange to us anymore. It is the peculiar way of democracy. I am the first to confess that the choice of a flag bearer is not an easy decision. The convention has been called to make, but it is a decision it must nevertheless make. Choosing one out of this glittering army of competent men and women is not just a task, it is a burden. The choice we make has ramification for our party and our country. We cannot afford to make our choice out of sentiments or other primordial considerations. That will only impose on us a wrong choice we might live to regret. In the course of this decision-making process, we may be called upon to make compromises to achieve our core objectives as a party. Democracy, by its nature, permits of such compromises in the spirit of give and take. Indeed, no human society can survive without compromises. Let us not be afraid of making them. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa sallallahu ala nabil kareem. Wa ba'd. Your Excellency, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Hajiya Aishatu Buhari, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Wasim Banjo, GCON, distinguished Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, all other protocols observed. It is with great sense of personal humility and gratitude to Almighty God that I warmly welcome you, distinguished leaders and members of our great party, to our historic 2022 convention. I cannot overemphasize the importance of this occasion, our party and our nation. You know as much as I do that the fate of our party depends on what we do here in the next 2 days. I urge us to commit the best practices in party politics by being honest and fair in our dealings, as well as keep our eyes on the ultimate prize, the post-President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yemi Osinbajo, SAN, Your Excellency, the amiable chairman of the APC, who just welcomed us to the convention, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, CON, Your Excellencies, members of the National Working Committee of the APC, Mr. Senate President, Speaker of the House of Representatives, our governors in various states, ministers and stakeholders, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great delight to welcome our leaders once again, our members, as well as a broad range of stakeholders, to this historic special convention to elect our presidential flag bearer to our party in the next coming year election. Collectively, we have established well beyond the shores of Nigeria the enviable unity of purpose through our national convention that brought us into the World Committee on 26th of March 2022. Under the leadership of our chairman, His Excellency Senator Abdullahi Adamu, we continue to make significant strides to deepen our unity, strengthen core functions in the National Secretariat, and position our great party to sustain leadership of democratic governance in Nigeria. With over 43 million members, our unique ability to reach everyone continue to rise above both national and across the nations. We remain undisputedly a leading democratic institution, not only in Nigeria, but in the African region. We have taken forward the many of our provisions of our new constitution. This reinforces the clarity of our purpose and provide much needed framework with which we have vigorously commenced to establish systems of fair play, inclusion, and accountability to our members, but to the Nigerian population. Primary elections for flag bearers of gubernatorial, the Senate, House of Representatives, and State House of Assembly are peacefully conducted across the nation. Our primary elections processes include at the risk screening, appeal committees, the eventual elections. We have sought to ensure utmost inclusion across party members, taking into consideration geographic spread, gender, youth, and persons with ability. We have taken care to ensure that we remain responsive to the aspirations of our members and of Nigerians. And I'm giving consideration to diversity in our vision, interests, and aspirations that was expected of a political party with over 45 million members. We have achieved this feat despite the tight timelines from the INEC and with full compliance to procedures and guidelines. We must express deep appreciation to the President of the Republic of Nigeria, leaders of our party, the National Executive Committee of our party, for their visionary foresight to temporarily yield the executive powers to the NWC at this time. This realist approach has facilitated consultations and make decision-making process less burdensome, progressively proactive, and nimble. Our great party, the APC, gathered today to elect our flag bearer. The pathway to this day affirms internal democracy within the APC, for which many value and have joined us. Today, with other members and leaders in each of the geopolitical zones, governors' fora, and many other instruments of that democracy, we are prepared, and by the grace of God, successfully deliver a successful special convention and a special flag bearer acceptable not only to our members of this party, but to all Nigerians wherever they live, work, and play. I thank you for kind attention. Thank you.
Congress. I'd like to crave your indulgence before I bring up the next speaker to please give us a clear thoroughfare. We want just the electoral mandate for his remarks at this juncture. The chairman of Progressive Governors Forum, who also doubles as the chairman of Election Management Committee, His Excellency, Senator Atiku Bagudu. Can we put our hands together for His Excellency as he makes his way here?
Aisha Buhari, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yomi Osibajo, His Excellency, the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawal, the Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Bajamila, the Chairman of our party, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, and members of the National Working Committee, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chief of Staff, Your Excellencies, Governors of the different states, members of the Federal Executive Council, delegates, party leaders, members of the media, and security agencies that are here. Good evening, everyone. And on behalf of the Progressive Governors Forum, I join in congratulating all of us for this achievement of organizing a convention, actually 2 conventions within a period of 70 days. And we are impressed with the level of the preparation. And on behalf of the forum, I congratulate the party, I congratulate our party leader, President Muhammadu Buhari. This convention is following a series of activities that have taken place in the different states, congresses and primaries that resulted in the nomination of various aspirants in various positions across the country. And we are full of commendation to the party for the organization, the support that has gone to successful primaries all across the states of the country. The governors are deeply appreciative of the support that the party has given in ensuring that we conduct very, very peaceful, transparent elections that we believe will continue to endear our party to Nigerians. This is in addition to many achievements recorded under the All Progressive Congress-led administration. Today, we are gathered here for a very, very momentous occasion, which we pray will result in the nomination of a presidential flag bearer for our party. And we pray all of us, as governors of the respective states, are here to show support. We are doing it when the Electoral Act have changed the nature of the delegates. About 70 days ago, when we gathered here, there were close to 8,000 delegates. But the changes in the Electoral Act resulted in fewer delegates, which we hope will make the election process more manageable. And since I'm speaking in 2 capacities, both of the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, on whose behalf I already spoken, and the chairman of the Election Management Committee, we appreciate our party for choosing us and bestowing us upon this important event. It's important duty to serve our party and participate in the process that will result in eventually the nomination of the presidential flag bearer sometimes this evening or early tomorrow morning. Your Excellencies, because of that, I will use this occasion to share on behalf of the Election Management Committee some information that as provided by the Electoral Act, only the duly elected 3 delegates per ward, i.e. 3 delegates for the 774 wards, local government, sorry, three delegates per local government, meaning 3 for each of the 774 local government will be allowed to vote after accreditation. There will be 2 voting points, each with 20 ballot boxes, and 2 states are going to be called one after the other, but they will vote at the 2 respective voting points simultaneously. Delegates are expected to write the names of their choice on the provided ballot papers. Delegates should please ensure that the name of their choice is fully written to avoid confusion, at least 2 names. Delegates who cannot write will be permitted to choose a delegate from their state to write for them. Delegates will be properly identified before voting commences. Agents of the aspirants will be permitted to sit to monitor the proceedings. All delegates are expected to return to their seats after casting their votes. At the end of the voting exercise, all the ballot boxes will be gathered together and sorted in the names of the aspirants. After the sorting out, the ballot of each aspirant will be counted, and the aspirant with the highest number of votes will be declared winner. Aspirants who decided to withdraw must inform the election committee, publicly announce their withdrawal, and sign the withdrawal form. Thereafter, there will be a translation in Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo for delegates who may not be conversant with the instructions as stated in the English language. I thank our party, and I thank Mr. President, and I thank all our leaders that are gathered here this evening, and I want to assure them that the Election Management Committee, and as part of the Convention Management Committee, will do its very best to ensure that whatever the result so declared will meet with the highest standard expected of our party. Thank you. Thank you. May God bless you.
Seated. So may I appeal to everybody to please take their seats. To come and talk to us and tell us exactly why you want to be President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria after President Muhammadu Buhari. So these are the names. His Excellency, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the Jagaban Bogu.
The Jagaban of the nation.
And we are calling the names in alphabetical order. We have His Excellency, Senator Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, who is the current Senate President. His Excellency, Senator Ahmed Sani Yerima, former Governor of Zamfara State. His Excellency, Senator Ajayi Robert Barofis, current Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His Excellency, Senator Ben Ayade, Governor of Cross River State. His Excellency, Engineer Dave Umahi, Governor of Ebonyi State. His Excellency Right Honorable Dimeji Bankole, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Emeka Nwajuba, immediate past Minister of State for Education, His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, former Governor of Akwa Ibom State and former Minister of the Niger Delta Affairs, His Excellency Senator Ibikunle Amosu, former Governor of Ogun State and current serving Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Dr. Kayode Fayemi, Governor of Ekiti State, His Excellency Senator Ken Inamani, former Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Alhaji Muhammadu Badaru Abubakar, Governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, former Governor of Abia State and former Minister of Science and Technology, Pastor Tunde Bakare, His Excellency Right Honorable Rotimi Chibuke Amechi, former Governor of Rivers State and current Minister of Transportation, His Excellency Senator Rochas Okorocha, former Governor of Imo State, Pastor Nicholas Nwago, Mr. Jack Rich Tain, His Excellency Governor Yahaya Bello, Governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Professor Yemi Oshibajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria and current Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Chief Ikiobasi Nokelu, and finally, and coincidentally, the only woman in the team, but her name starts with a U, so that's why she's number 23 on the list, Barrister Mrs. Uju Kennedy Oheye. So, Your Excellencies, those are the 23 aspirants. They'll be talking to us. But before then, we'll cool our nerves a bit with some entertainment by the one and only Sir Shina Peters. I hope you're ready. But please take your seats, please. If you don't sit down,
wọ́n ṣe máa lùlù tàbí kọrin afrojú tó máa dàbí ẹni tó ní. Kò sí wọ́n ṣe máa lùlù tàbí kọrin afrojú tó máa dàbí ẹni tó ní. Oníkọlà jẹ́ ó ṣe owó ọmọ pẹ́jẹ́ lù kí ilé o. Ṣìnà Peter lọ́la fojújú. Àfojújó ìfẹ́ sísẹ́ àwọ̀. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ lẹ́yìn mi. You have a great job. Money you have a Sanga. Oluwasila Peters. Oluwasila Afrojuju. Àti sọ̀dọ̀dọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ rí. Ayé lè pátá dàgbà everywhere. Àsìkò àwọn ayé ti lé o, ọ̀yẹ́ ti lù wá. Ọ̀ṣọ́ mi lọ́jà gbọ́. right now. We are ready to play music. We are ready. I said right now. We are ready to play music. We are ready. We need right now. We are ready to play music.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Sheila Peters.
I want to play.
Thank you.
Love you.
Let's put our hands together for him, ladies and gentlemen. Even fresh.
Love you.
We have a line of actors to entertain us before we go into the election proper.
No matter the weight of elephant, you don't because such weight. Still colonize the worry. Level sample.
We'll be nuts when they knock for your door. If you know you're happy, let me see how. Everybody, let me see how. No go go go. Jano, oh Papa Mo, Lord, I am crying down to my soul. As I will never let you go because I know that it's so low. I am a downfall driver. Maybe you be downfall driver. DJ Fiona, just drop. Hold on. I said if you are happy, just wave your hand. I want to see everybody around. Today is our day. Let's ourselves. Anybody want plan back from us? Holy God! So let's just drop it.
Our pepper soup. No, we have shepherd, lemongrass, native line, monkey tail, soldier root, small leaf, a shaman. Oh yeah, Mama, because for your own time. Because if you want to celebrate, if there's nothing people they come on. Oh yeah, particularly the Nigerian town where we call it dance like, act like, wine like, yeah. I walk on I said, go yeah, I'm crying, yeah. People I said, I'm crying, yeah. Well, I live. God bless you, God bless you.
As people with one song, with one voice, we're a nation undivided and one. We will take us down and build our land. What is that? Here we are. Nigeria must remain united. People with one heart. This is all we ask for. We're determined to rebuild and restore. Peace in Nigeria. Peace shall be. The unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. And you know that you're with us in one Nigeria. And we see you on your hands. Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Ishakiri, Efi, Aba, Edo. We are one Nigeria. Nigeria must remain as one. All the superstars of Nigeria are here saying one nation. Sakachi, Tetutak, La Vista, Utobodo, Andy Chukwu, Rarara, Baba Chinedu, all the artists are here saying one Nigeria. Nigeria must remain as one. Our president, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari, a peace-loving father. His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State,
Ahmed Bola Tinubu to please come alone. Please, all aspirants, they are coming in. Please, only the aspirants will be allowed to pass through to the stage. Senator Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, Senator Ahmed Sanu Yeriba, Senator Ajayi Robert Boniface will be doing it in batches of 4. So can we call on the 4 of you aspirants to please come to the stage. Each aspirant will be allowed to speak for 2 minutes. Thank you very much. DJ.
Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, the Senate President, Senator Ahmad Lawan, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, these national delegates, all ANEC observers, distinguished APC members, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as members of All Progressive Congress, gather both in celebration and in stand test of our democratic fitness, we have all waited and worked for this day to come. Now it is upon us. We must rise to the occasion. We now stand before all Nigerians. We have always said, this party may well be the last best hope for Nigeria to attain its finest destiny. Thus, we shall use this confession to show the world that APC celebrates democracy by faithfully participating in it. Soon, we will freely and fairly nominate the person to follow President Muhammadu Buhari as our next standard bearer. For you delegates, this is a heavy responsibility. I know you will meet this duty with the seriousness it deserves. The convention also marked the end of the first phase of year 2023 election cycle. This primary season has been one of intense competition among those who aspire to the nomination. I commend the other aspirants for the dignity and zeal with which they have conducted their campaigns. Such strong, persistent competition will make us better as a party. By today's end, you would have selected party's candidate who definitely want to see a great process to win. We must emerge from today a unified force, focused on the cooperation and shared victory. President Buhari has said, our party's objective must be to triumph in the next year's general election at all levels. The candidates you select must deliver victory in the national election and have the personal gravity and national recognition to pull us through to victory in the state and local government elections as well. He must instill a sense of victory and confidence. Moreover, the candidate must unite Nigerians of all walks of life from all parts of the country. He must have the experience leadership, knowledge, and extensive personal contact to steer the diverse, complicated Nigeria through this challenging period. A dynamic world. The other candidates are all good men and women, but I sincerely believe I am the person this moment called for. I have the experience. I led the transformation of Lagos from a dangerous, unwelcoming place in 1999 to a clean, safe, and vibrant place and the fifth largest economy in Africa today. I am a serious man with a serious purpose, and I will use all that I know and all my abilities to benefit our people. I'm a unified leader. I have constructed a formidable political structure, one that has delivered electoral victory after electoral victory. I do not put myself forward because I think this is the nomination in Nigeria. I step forward because I believe I can lead our party towards the brightest future. I have expertise, my record of corporate leadership, my financial expert, my experience as an executive governor of Lagos make me unique among all other aspirants, giving me the requisite skill to accelerate the progressive reform that will change the face of our national economy. I can not, on this day, talk of a brighter and prosperous future without declaring my determination to fight terrorism and insecurity to the very end. I mourn the lives already lost, how to do everything possible to ensure justice and forever erase terror from our land. Today, you decide our presidential nominee. Let me be the man who can best articulate the vision of progress and development, then implement it. Let us always honor the promise of the APC, the promise we made to Nigeria. I humbly ask you to nominate me as the party's presidential candidate because I am confident, competent, courageous, and ready to start from day one. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, peace. God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much. I love you all.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, good evening, everyone. Your Excellency, tonight we are making history. Our great party, the All Progressives Congress, the APC, is making history. Next year, 29th May 2023, Mr. President, your tenure would have been full cycle, and by the grace of God, it will be. This event is a special event for us to elect the next person to fly the flag of our party in next year's presidential election, by the grace of God. Your Excellency, you have provided a great deal of leadership in governance and in the running of our party. That's why we are here. This administration from 2015 to date, under your distinguished leadership, has done so much for this country, and APC has made its mark. You've laid the foundation for whoever will emerge this night to fly the flag of our party, to stand on such a very solid and strong foundation. And we are very proud of your achievements in the last 7 years. Your Excellency, you have provided leadership for this party, even when it will appear that we have difficulties looking insurmountable. The moment you step in, things go on to be straight and streamlined. And this is how APC will be. That APC will always be strong because you have set it on a very strong pedestal. Your Excellency, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am running for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria because I believe that this party has been built well around ideals that all of us here share. Today, we are proud that having sustained our economy, that despite all the difficulties in the world, our economy is still experiencing growth. Your Excellency, please. Your Excellency, we have dealt with insecurity in the Northeast. Even though we have some challenges in the Northwest particularly, I believe that the way and manner we dealt with Northeast insurgency is the same way that we will deal and conquer the banditry and kidnapping in the Northwest and some parts of North Central. Distinguished delegates, let me say that you are a special set of Nigerians who are saddled with the responsibility and task of electing the next president of Nigeria, our country. My belief is there cannot be any higher and more important responsibility than electing the president that will lead this country in the next 4 years from 2023. I will therefore appeal to you that look very closely, ensure that we elect someone who will ensure that the achievements so far by our administration are consolidated and others continued. I am of the parliament. I come from the parliament. I am a parliamentarian. Having spent 23 years in the National Assembly, having chaired very strategic committees of agriculture and education, having chaired the very important oppositional committee on public accounts committee, having served as chairman of the Senate Committee on Defense, having served as the majority leader of the Senate, and serving as the president of the Senate by the grace of God, I am eminently qualified. Distinguished delegates, let me tell you that worldwide, the developed democracies are run by parliamentarians. Developed democracies are governed by parliamentarians mainly. If you go to parliamentary systems, the Prime Minister is always an elected parliamentarian. If you go to the US and similar democracies, senators and members of Congress run the country. Today's president in the US, the President Biden, was in the Senate of the United States of America. President Obama was also a senator in the Senate of the United States of America. I have acquired sufficient experience working very closely with Mr. President, our dear President, as the presiding officer and chairman of the National Assembly. I have learned a lot, and by the grace of God, if you elect me this night, I will continue and consolidate those massive achievements Mr. President and the APC administration have achieved. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless the APC. APC! 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 Thank you very much.
Before you are elected in 2015, this country was facing very serious security challenge. Everybody knows about the menace of Boko Haram. When you came in, you promised the country that you are going to have 3-point agenda to fight insecurity, fight corruption, and work very hard to improve on our economy. The Boko Haram, before you came in, were virtually in Borno and Maiduguri, Madroba and Yobe. They virtually captured those states, and they even bombed the UN headquarters in Abuja. All of us, both Muslims and Christians, have to be screened before we enter places of worship. But today, all that is history. On the economy, you did your best, because the PDP, when they were in power, the price of crude oil rose up to $140 per barrel. When you came in, the country witnessed downturn on the price and came as low as $30 per barrel. If it were not you, I didn't know what would have happened in this country. I'm presenting myself today to the nation, to APC, and to our distinguished delegates, because I believe that the current trend of new security challenges, of armed banditry and kidnappings are just new to us. And I believe that with concerted effort by recruiting more security personnel, improvement in their welfare, and making sure that adequate equipment are provided, the security challenge will also be a thing of the past. We have higher level poverty. Every leader in this country, in this world, must make sure that nobody, no Nigerian, sleep hungry. I intend to make sure that I come up with robust economic, fiscal and monetary policies to address the challenges of poverty, and we are going to also make sure that one very important problem of Nigeria, which is ignorance, is addressed by making sure that the education sector is given due attention. That every child of Nigeria must be given free and compulsory education up to secondary school level, and we are going to introduce student loans board so that every child from either poor family or rich family can access loan to make sure that he pay for his tuition fees and maintenance to acquire education in this country. I will not bother you too much. I have only 2 minutes. I will urge the delegates to look at every candidate, every aspirant, and make sure they elect somebody who will deliver APC to victory in this country. APC! 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 Thank you very much, and God bless all.
Auspicious occasion and a determining moment, not only for our party, but for our nation. In 2013, the APC was established as a progressive party with commitment to national unity, to progress, and to the socio-economic development of our country. Within 8 years of our government, under the able leadership and guidance of our President, Muhammad Buhari, the APC has made tremendous and remarkable progress in all sectors of our economy. Mr. President, I want to acknowledge the great work you have done in the infrastructure sector, completing the rail from Lagos to Ibadan, the rail from Abuja to Kaduna, the completion of the second Niger bridge, and many other infrastructural developments. My decision to come out to run for the highest office in the country is to build on your legacy. The legacy that has been built on integrity and honor. I believe that if we do this, this country will move forward. I am putting my arbitration on 4-point agenda: security, the economy, education, and anti-corruption crusade. These 4-point agenda are drawn from our medium-term national development plan. And I believe that the 8 priorities of this plan, if well implemented, will lead this country to higher heights. I am selling myself to Nigerians, to our party, to the delegates. I have never lost any election. I have served on 3 terms in the Senate, and I have served on several committees: Navy, Education, Works, science and technology, and many others. At the moment, I am the Deputy Senate Leader. I started my adult career as an academia, and I reached the apex of my career as a professor, and even climbing the ladder of administration. I moved on to bureaucracy when I was appointed the Director General of the National Space Research and Development Agency when I launched 3 of 4 satellites, the first and the only one yet in Black Africa. Therefore, thereafter I moved to Senate and I've served 4 to 3 terms on Senate. In my tenure, I've impacted on my senatorial district, building 5 hospitals, building 5 school acquisition centers, building roads, establishing some industries like cashew processing and many other industries. I have the experience, I have the knowledge, I have the capability. It is time for us to bring science and technology into the mainstream of our socio-economic policy. Because the difference between the developed country and the developing countries and other countries is the level of the science and technology and application of science and technology to development. I want to assure you, distinguished delegates, if you vote for me, you'll be voting for honor, you'll be voting for integrity, you'll be voting for transparency and useful purpose in the administration of this country. I want to thank you, and I bless Nigeria. Long live Nigeria, long live our party. APC!
First, His Excellency Senator Ben Ayade should please step out to the podium. We'd also like to call His Excellency Engineer Dave Umahi, the Governor of Ebonyi. We'd also like to invite His Excellency Right Honorable Dimeji Bankole, the former Speaker of the House of Reps, to also come, and then to make the last 4, you have Honorable Emeka Umajoba to please come to the stage. All 4 aspirants will be given just 2 minutes to give us a synopsis of what they...
Professor Ben Ayade, the Governor of Cross River State. I have come here to share my thoughts. This is a great opportunity for our delegates to make a choice on the future of this country. I present myself as a great intellect with a long-standing background in academics, in the Senate, and now as governor. I understand the challenges of a third world economy. I understand the security challenges of this nation with the concept of Afghanistanism, the collapse of Afghanistan, and the ambition of ISWAP and Boko Haram to take over Nigeria, recognizing our vast natural resource. It is obvious clearly that there's also an international connectivity, iconoclastic of some sort, with a conspiratorial theory that the vast wealth of the coltan deposit, diamond and platinum that we have, with the concomitants of our challenges, they believe that opportunity has come for them to colonize Nigeria and to drive out Christians and Muslims alike, because they believe that their God-given territory is the West African province. As a country, we must be united by the resolve to address the security challenge of this nation. Therefore, my proposal when I become president of this country, to use a satellite videography, because the use of the contact approach, the physical military approach, is insufficient in a modern warfare. Nigeria at this point, therefore, will require a defense pact of a known occupation origin, a defense pact to share military intelligence, a defense pact that will allow you opportunity to use unoccupied drone technology for the attack of terrorists. We must realize that I am the governor of Cross River State who refused to sign the anti-grazing law because I thought it was offending the trades of X-Men. I am one governor who has stood and has united this nation. I am one governor who believes in the fact that this country can only
only be united if we address the challenges of our security system. The most critical aspect as well is education and agriculture. The moral miasma and decadence that have characterized our university system, occasioned by the failed structure due to poor remuneration, has of course dovetailed into a challenge where young people come out of university without the Kantianics, without the morality, without the kinetics of good conscience. I come as a professor with a long-standing experience who will bring back education, restore the glory and value and dignity of knowledge. All over the world, the world has migrated into technology and knowledge-driven administration. Nigeria cannot be different. I present myself as a young man who shares the enthusiasm of the youth or the wisdom of a 60-year. I'm an old head on young shoulders. I have education, I have exposure. I have worked with a system, I'm a system purifier. I believe that this country must show that the black man does not think from his stomach. If you put your vote and commoditize your vote and put a value to it, you have mortgaged your future. I come believing that the delegates will be worried about the future of their lives, the future of their children. I present myself as that firebrand, that catalytic power force that will create that opportunity where this country will realize that yes, indeed, we have young men. In Cross River today, I have a garment factory, a pharmaceutical factory, a rice factory, a cocoa factory, a vegetable oil factory, Kanachika. I have a feed processing mill, and the list is endless. I have done so because I know job creation is at the basis of the peace and unity of this nation. I present myself in the absence of trying to impress you with how much money, but I present myself as somebody who has shown capacity, and I hope to show that capacity at the national level. God bless us all as I charge your conscience to vote for the future of this country and not vote for the pocket of today. Thank you and God bless.
In Nigeria to allow a party-free and fair presidential contest is the first of its kind in Nigeria. And I want to thank the party chairman and the committee that organized this beautiful convention, and I want to say that you have done very well. When people were very highly apprehensive about the success of this convention, I told them that APC has what is called a self-cleansing velocity. Today we are here, and let me pledge that whatever is the outcome of this convention, I will abide by it. And let me say that I put myself forward as a man who has proven his indices of all the developmental indices that the country Nigeria needs. I have been able to prove that you can do quite a lot with little resources. I have been able to bring Ebonyi State to compete with other states of the nation, irrespective of the date and time this state was created. I appeal for the delegates that all that the nation Nigeria is looking for to improve on the great legacies of Mr. President, that I possess it. And I ask Nigeria that at a time like this, we should give an opportunity to a proven engineer. I'm a professional engineer, and I have proved it in Ebonyi State. In the area of agriculture, I can say that I am part and parcel of feeding this nation Nigeria. In the area of health, I can say that I have the best medical facilities in the whole of Nigeria. In the whole area of education, it is quite evident what I have done in the area of education. In security, in the area of national unity, I can say that I have proven the fact that I need to put my people, the Southeast people, in the mainstream of the affairs of this country. And that is the reason why I joined APC. I want APC delegates to look towards me and know that they have a young man who has the capacity, who has the ability, who has the wisdom, and who has the divine calling to improve on all that our dear president has done for our country. I urge you to give me your votes. I urge you to look through all the promises we have made. Nigeria in 2023 will not be looking at promises. They are going to be looking at your past performances and what we've been able to achieve. And I have a lot to campaign for APC with. So I thank you very much, and I have great faith in God and in you that we do the right thing, and give me your vote. God bless you, and God sustain you, and congratulations to all APC members. APC! Thank you.
About 60 years ago, some of our elders in this country decided to look for fine gentlemen like you all over Nigeria, give them the best training they could have, and handed Nigeria over to them. A few years later, Nigeria went through one of the worst periods of its time, just to show that those fine gentlemen were the best we ever produced. Some of them sacrificed their lives for us to be here today. Mr. President, you are one of those gentlemen. Today you are about to find out who your successor is. And I go by the genre, there is no success without succession. You have done your best over the last 7 years. It's time for someone else to move the nation forward. As an economist, I do have an idea that this is all about economy. Without solving that, we will never solve the security problem. Without solving that, we will never solve the power problem. It's just that we don't have enough time for me to talk about the power probe which I launched when I was speaker. A major problem we have today that you have managed to solve for us is that of Boko Haram in the Northeast. I understand that for the past 20 years of this country, we have left local governments mostly ungoverned. Today, we have a different type of government in some of those ungoverned areas, and they are collecting taxes they're collecting taxes in form of kidnappings and the rest of it. Almost 20% of our budget is spent on local governments. It's about time that we begin to negotiate with our governors to make sure that the institution of local government becomes a serious part of our system. Without that, we cannot solve the problem of primary education and primary health. These are the major problems that we need to face in our country. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria may not be able to understand fully what's happening in different local governments, but he can bring about strong institutions as far as we need them in this country. Well, Mr. President, as a younger person, I proved to this nation, with my colleagues in the National Assembly at that time, at a critical time in our nation, that it's possible for younger people to handle critical situations when we brought about the doctrine of necessity, that actually saved the dignity of one of our former presidents and actually allowed our country to move forward. Mr. President, thank you. Again, I say, there is no success without succession. As a former military officer myself, I truly hope that our party and delegates will consider the lives of those young men standing in all parts of Nigeria, making sure that Boko Haram and the rest of them do not take us to pieces. Thank you, and God bless all of you. And of course, anyone that wins tonight, thank you.
Mr. President, my name is Goswill Akwabi, Commander of the Order of the Niger. I am standing in front of you as one of those with great aspirations to become President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But however, I do not know the year. As a student of history, I want to let you know that the All Progressives Congress came to birth through very strong alliance between the then ACN in the southwest and the CPC in the north. Today I want to thank the progressive governors of northern Nigeria, my dear colleagues, having been a governor for 8 years, for their decision to ensure peace, stability, and unity of the country, that in 2023, the presidency of this country should go to the southern region of Nigeria. It is on that note that I do not want to speak much. But I want to say that their decision is laudable. Mr. President, I'm going to make a statement. I hope my supporters are listening. I hope my delegates are listening. The statement I want to make is that for 2023, I want to join you to go with a president that has vision. Helen Keller, the first blind child to have first class in Radcliffe University, after she delivered the lecture on the convocation day, a mischievous pressman asked her a question and said, "My dear, congratulations, but what do you think could be worse than being blind?" And the child answered, "To have sight and no vision." To have sight and no vision. Today, I urge all our delegates to look at all of us and bring out a man amongst us that does not only have sight, but also has vision. It was that sight that enabled me, it was that vision that enabled me to turn around a pedestrian state like Akwa Ibom State into a destination of choice for all Nigerians and the global community. And that is what they came to know as uncommon transformation. So I am ably qualified to be your president. I'm standing in front of you. I would have run this race on the basis of my track record. But having taken cognizance of the history of the APC and the efforts of the governors to bring peace in a fragile situation like this, that yes, we are looking at south. But I have seen a man who is older than me and who was the first visionary in governance. And that man enabled us to have good governance in Lagos State and also to have the development we have in Lagos State today. So, Mr. President, I would have delivered a very powerful speech today on my manifesto, which included 3 major items: that of security, that of unity of the country, that of the economy of the country, which involves infrastructure. And as a man who is known as the governor that turned boys into men, I would have said, yes indeed, I would have done so. But I don't have to do so by being president. I will join the next president. I will join the next president to turn the boys in Nigeria into men. And therefore, I drop my heart and I assure you that as I withdraw now, vote for Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. Vote for Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu. The 93 delegates of Akwa Ibom, the hundreds of delegates across Nigeria, the 1,200 delegates that were ready to put me in office, I assure, I plead with you to unite our party, let equity reign, and bring in this man to take over our current president. And we will support him. I will be there supporting him. I assure, vote for Ahmed Bola Tinubu as your next president. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
I am from Ogun State. I'm here tonight to let you know that I did not just present myself to be president of this country. I present myself because I know I have the wherewithal. I have the both private and public sector experience to govern this great nation, Nigeria. And these I've done painstakingly on 2 platforms. And that is one, security, the other one, economy. Of course, there are 6 sub-themes. Our security in Nigeria, we have challenges, but I know there is no problem that is insurmountable. I know that we can resolve these security challenges. We all know what was happening in the northeast, and now in northeast, Boko Haram is seizing. All the banditry that we are having in northwest and other in north central, and what has just happened in southwest in Ondo State, we do not want things like that. This is not the Nigerians of our dream. This is not what our forebears planned Nigeria to be. And if you look at where we are today, we can improve on our economy. Our economy will be such that our younger ones, look at the millions of people that are aged between maybe 20, 25 to 35. They are about 60-70% of our population. These are able-bodied men and women that wake up every day, they don't have anything doing. We must create employment for them. We must create jobs for them. We must create wealth for them. A nation that do not cater for its younger ones who have security challenges. So those are one of those things that I plan to do. Look at our education. Our education when we were growing up was never like this. We were not running to London, to Europe, to America to read. We read in this Nigeria. All our children now, once you can afford it, we run away from Nigeria to go and educate them. That must stop. In this Nigeria of today, look at our power. We want to do something that within the first, maybe maximum 1 year, we are going to lift our power generation from mega 6,000 to about 15,000, and maybe within the next 2 years to 30,000. And it just does generation. We must, as we are generating, we must transmit. And as we are transmitting, we must distribute. Look at Nigeria. Look at our health sector. We are lucky. God was on our side when COVID struck. That Nigeria will survive it, that we will not be picking dead bodies on our street, is to the glory of God Almighty. But we can't do better. This is Nigeria. This is the giant of Africa. This is the giant of the black race. We must do better. Look at our infrastructure. And let me commend President Muhammad Buhari. This administration has done very, very well on infrastructure. And unfortunately, the insecurity that we have is overshadowing this beautiful work that this administration is doing. We will concentrate on our infrastructure in a scenario where from Lagos to Abeokuta, it will take you several hours to do. Thank God now with the railways that is happening, we will improve on that. Again, from Damaturu to Enugu, to Owode, to everywhere in Nigeria, we must be able to move from one place to another. We must be able to move freely. Growing up as a child, growing up in secondary school, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter whether you are a Christian or a Muslim. We are one Nigeria, and that is what it will be. We are going to go on massive nation building. Genuine at that, we must do. Look at our agriculture. Agriculture that will lead us to food security. A nation that can't feed itself is no nation. And we have to thank President Muhammad Buhari for coming up with the cliche that we must eat what we grow and we must grow what we eat. There's a lot that can be said. Look at our infrastructure, I've talked about that. Look at our infrastructure, I've talked about that. Look at agriculture, I've talked about that. Look at technology. We should not be left behind. We should participate. If we are left behind, if we don't participate, we'll be left behind. Nigeria should be a technology-driven nation. Now let me end this address by saying that our greatest gift, our greatest resource in Nigeria is the human capital. If with all these our younger ones, with all what Almighty has done for us, there is no reason for us as a nation to be where we are. Yes, we are on the right path, but we are not where we should be. When we concentrated effort, with concerted effort, we will get to where we are going. I can go on and on and on and on. But having said all this, let me now say this. First, I want to thank my brother that just spoke. Now, in the spirit of consensus building, in the spirit of the supremacy of our party, and most importantly, to hearken to the call of Mr. President and our people back home. For me, there's nowhere that is not home. But in where we find ourselves as a nation today, we must talk to ourselves. Yes, these are hard facts. For me, I don't care Mr. A, where Mr. B comes from, but where we find ourselves today, of course, the presidency must go to the south. I want to thank my brother governors from the north. Thank you for your patriotism. Thank you for believing in Nigeria. That is the way it should be. I want to urge all my supporters. I want to urge all of you that believe in me that we have somebody that can do the job. We all rally around him to do the job. And it's no stranger to me. We have been together for quite some time. And that is Asiwaju Bola. So I believe with your support, with all of us coming together to support him, we will take Nigeria to greater heights. We will take Nigeria to the desired heights. APC!
We are once again demonstrating demonstrating to Nigerians and the world at large that we're the true bearers of the hopes and aspirations of Nigerians for national unity and progress. Today, Mr. President, Nigerians at home and abroad are watching as we make an all-important decision about who will be the standard bearer of our party for the 2023 presidential election, to build on your numerous legacies of achievement and also address the current challenges that we have. I have been honored, Mr. President, and privileged to serve our party and our country in various leadership positions. As a matter of fact, Mr. President, you would recall that on December 10, 2014, I was in this very historic position that my brother, the governor of Imo State, is today, as the chairman of the Special Convention and Presidential Primary at the Taslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos, in which you emerged as the candidate of our party for the 2015 election, an election that you went on to win, and one that you did with a historic mandate to replace a sitting government. 7 odd years after that, you have made significant progress as our leader in tackling our challenges. And I think the most critical challenge that you have tackled is to ensure that our country has not disappeared into the abyss. Because if it had continued along the trajectory that it was going in 2014, 2015, we probably would not have a country called Nigeria again today. For that, we owe you a debt of gratitude. But the job of governing is never finished, Mr. President. You have come nearly to the end of your own term in office. And it is a historic duty and an opportunity for you to preside over the process of electing your successor in office. That is the process we're starting here today. And for those of us who have had the privilege of traversing the length and breadth of this country, because of the opportunities we have had in serving in government and as a citizen for many years, we know that it is only in unity and in cohesion that we can really meet our manifest destiny. That destiny that Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa spoke of in 1960, of being a pride to ourselves and a great hope to the African world. We have a duty, indeed a responsibility, to build on the labor of our heroes past, to ensure that we focus on security, that we focus on our economy, that we focus on our social security, and that we focus on addressing poverty, addressing inequality, addressing corruption, addressing impunity in order to build a better society. We must focus on empowering our women, on providing jobs, particularly for our youth, and in ensuring that we retool our armed forces and security services in order for them to do a better job of securing our country. Mr. President, this is the task before us today, and it is the task we are asking our delegates to decide on. And I must thank my brother governor for the work that they've been doing at the various sub-national levels. We must continue to do that work. And our brothers from the northern Governors Forum of APC have led by example by proposing to party members that the next candidate of our party and by God's grace the next president of our country must come from the southern part of this country. And I have come to a difficult but necessary decision. And that decision is that we must look for the most appropriate person at this time to do this job. I am prepared to sacrifice my ambition to be the president of Nigeria. I am a young man. I still have a long time ahead of me. And one person that I have worked with in the trenches of democratic struggle and in the cause of governing Nigeria, side by side, shoulder to shoulder, a mentor, an elder, a supporter of mine, and a great fighter for democracy in Nigeria that I would love to recommend to all my supporters, all my delegates, starting from the 48 delegates in Ekiti State, to all my supporters across the length and breadth of the country, is that you please accord me the respect to offer the support you are giving me to my elder brother, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I am not doing him a favor. For me, it is a duty, and it is a duty of care for Nigeria. I know he will do the job well, and we shall support him in delivering services to the greater majority of Nigeria. Thank you. God bless Nigeria. God bless all progressive Congress. God bless the Federal Republic. Thank you.
Justice implies is you have equal opportunity of winning or even losing. On March 26, we gathered here for another convention. On that March 26, all the offices which we are contested for were based on zoning principle. Zoning principle is synonymous with federal character in the Nigerian Constitution. It helps to give all the sections of Nigeria equal opportunity. All the offices held in northern part of the country were transferred to the south, and all the offices held in the south were moved up north. Today's convention suddenly had changed. It's no longer based on the zoning principle. I would suggest very strongly that we take a second look at the Nigerian Constitution, the area that concerns the federal character, which gives all parts of Nigeria equal opportunity to feel that that part is an integral part of the country. There is no section in Nigeria that has monopoly of knowledge or monopoly of experts. I think that the federal character plays a role in building the other arm of our party, which we call unity. I will recommend very strongly that we take a very close look at what is about to happen. If we jettison zoning, we may not have the effect right now. Because if we throw everything open, it implies removing the federal character from our constitution, and it will not be nice. So the same spirit with which our northern governors have shown by saying that it is nice after having 80 years of governance in the north that it should move southwards. I I commend the effort and their spirit of unity, and spirit of purpose, and unity of action. Now, our brothers in the south, because there are 3 zones in the south, southeast and southwest, and south-south. They should reciprocate. They should reciprocate the same sense of brotherliness which the North has shown to the South. I say this because I already implied that there's no section in our country that has a monopoly of experts. If we look deep enough, we'll find people who can give our country strong leadership in all the zones. So while I commend the party, but let the party not abandon what they started. The party should maintain that justice, peace and unity. Justice in the sense that let us rotate or zone offices as we did on March 26th. I don't see why we should do anything different this time around. Consistency matters. So I am told that if we maintain this singular principle, we will enjoy an untold peace and harmony. And one of the greatest or abiding principle or legacy that the present administration will leave is the survival of APC. APC should be stronger. We cannot just perform our function in all 8 years. I wish we can mobilize our members in all the sectors of Nigeria, because we have over 40 million members. And if all of them can come out with their PVC and vote, no other party can match APC. I thank you for your audience. Thank you very much.
President and your lovely wife, again I stand on the existing protocols. At this moment, I would also like to
Gentlemen, if you recall, in 2018, I chaired the convention that brought about the leaders of the party. In that convention at that time, I pleaded for national unity. I pleaded for consensus that will help and stabilize our party. And for all these years, I'm an advocate of consensus. And just a few weeks ago, I also chaired the election committee of our great party that brought about the executives of the party at the national level and at the zone. During that convention, I also begged for consensus. We had 78 positions to contest for, and at the end, the contestants agreed in most cases to a consensus. We were only able to do election in 12 positions out of the 78. In that spirit, and in the spirit of brotherhood, brought about by the decision of my colleagues, the northern governors, that power was shifted to the south. I accepted that position then, and I stand by it now. For that reason, I wish to thank all the delegates here, all my supporters, for the wonderful job they have done throughout our campaign, and to tell them that we are trained to do what is right. We are trained to be just. We are trained to be fair. And we are trained to know that what is destined for you must come to you. What is not destined for you is never yours. For this reason, I want to reconfirm my withdrawal from this race and invite all my supporters and delegates to support our father, our leader, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
A great leader, a disciple builder, a progressive leader, and an achiever. In the person of Bola Ahmed.
Because I want to build on the work already done by this administration, of which I was a part, and the work done by previous leaders of our dear nation, to make Nigeria a truly great nation. Nigeria was created by God to be a great nation, a nation that all other nations will respect and all Nigerians will be proud of. A nation that will be in a position to grow enough food for our people and to export the surplus. A nation that can produce many of the things that we need and stop relying on importation into Nigeria of all the things that we need. And then we can export the surplus so as to ensure that our currency, the Naira, regains the strength that it used to have before. This Naira used to be stronger than the dollar, and it can still be achieved. We want, I believe very strongly, that using science, technology, and innovation, and encouraging entrepreneurship, helping to ensure that all Nigerians are educated, and in the interim, to offer free education to all Nigerians and make it compulsory at the primary and secondary levels. Because we have seen that the difference between developed and underdeveloped countries are essentially nations that have ignorant people as their citizens. But this education that we are talking about will be different from what we have now. This education will now be influenced by science, technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I believe that one day Nigeria should be ranked in the stature of countries like the United States of America and China. That is why I decided to run for president, and also to make sure that we build a nation in which every Nigerian will be very happy to be a citizen. To achieve this goal, we will ensure that we allocate a minimum of 2% of the gross domestic product of our economy, to science, technology, and innovation within 2 years. We are doing less than 0.5% today, and we'll be creating a 1 trillion naira fund for job creation, because we need to create jobs for Nigerian youth. They need to be kept busy so that we can solve the problems we have with security, with all the problems that we have, whether in the health, whether in education, whether in industry. All this can be solved if we apply this directly, in our development. I also will want us to establish a ministry of national unity and values that will bring back the values that made this country very great. That ministry will ensure that we'll bring in discipline into our country, because once you discipline a society, you will now have progress and so on. There is some appeal that I want to make to the leadership of our party. Everybody in the leadership of this party know the role I played in bringing APC into being. The intellectual preparation for it, the initial bringing people together, nurturing them, and so on. And even up to the point that I paid for the money that was used to register APC. I would like to say that the motto of APC is justice. You have peace and you have unity. And we must uphold that motto, because wherever you have justice, you will have peace. And the way you have peace, you will have prosperity. And I say this because I believe very strongly that Mr. President, who has done so well, we know his achievements. Many people don't even know it. But those of us who serve under him, we know it. And we are proud of you, Mr. President. But Mr. President, what is very, very important, exceptionally important, is that we must ensure that this justice is upheld. Now, Mr. President will be completing his tenure by 29th of May next year. I think, naturally, it should be somebody from the southeast. I'm not saying this because I'm from the southeast. Somebody from the southeast that will now replace him. And that will give the opposite of South versus North and Christian versus Muslim. And it will bring stability to our nation. It will strengthen the unity of Nigeria. And I believe that this should have been done. And I personally, 23 years ago, I made a personal sacrifice when there were 3 parties, and I held the presidential ticket of one of the 3. But I had to let it go in order to solve a problem in the Southwest, to make sure that 2 Olus contested for the presidency, that head or tail, one will become a president. And that brought down tension in the country. And this is what would have happened if we allow the Southeast to, which is look at it. The Southwest has 8 years as president, 8 years as vice president. The South, they have 8 years vice president and president. Where is the justice? Where is the justice? Where is the justice? We need to do what is right. May God bless Nigeria. May God bless our country. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Mother across the land, and breadth of our nation, and especially the grandson mother last Sunday at the Catholic Church in Ondo State. May we please remain silent in honor of these fallen heroes. May their souls rest in peace. God forbid that we lead without being compassionate and being sensitive to the pain of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, and our dear delegates, history is lived forward and it is written in retrospect. And those who do not learn from history will only repeat the blunders of history till they become history. Thank God that I have a living witness in this arena tonight. 11 years ago, on January 15, 2011, I received a call from the then General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, inviting me to be his running mate in the 2011 presidential elections on the platform of the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, one of the predecessors of our great party, the All Progressive Congress. In convincing me to accept his invitation, despite my initial hesitation, our leader, now President Muhammadu Buhari, said to me that he chose me because, having examined my records and trajectory, he was convinced that should the need arise, he could confidently hand Nigeria to my care, assured that I could hold the nation together. Mr. President, dear delegates, the time is now and the hour has come. Tonight, I'm not here to step down for anyone. I respect all aspirants and have said wonderful things about them, including Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. But I am here by the grace of God to step up with the support of the delegates as the 16th President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dear delegates, as we converge in our nation's capital to collectively take a historic step towards the realization of the nation that works, I recall again with nostalgic feelings the very day APC was born in this same Eagle Square on February 6, 2013. It was my privilege to move the motion for the merger that birthed APC. I'm going to nurture this party to ensure that it becomes strong, to ensure that it becomes great. Please allow me. Today, I'm offering myself to close the distance between the Nigerian reality and every Nigerian dream. And will, by God's grace, unlock the power of public policy to accelerate the transformation of our nation. I will infuse our young people with a surge of hope for what is possible. I will lead the most intergenerational administration in our nation. I will roll my sleeves up and work to solve Nigeria's most intractable problem in order to build a cutting-edge nation at the forefront of innovation. By the grace of God, the four pillars upon which I will run the administration are peace. Without peace, there cannot be progress. Peace, progress, prosperity, and possibility. And someone may be asking me today, what is your experience in governance? Experienced people have brought us to where we are. Many of the experienced people have padded budgets, have introduced corruption into the system. It is time to raise a new generation, a new breed without greed, a radical opposition to corruption, men and women, boys and girls who choose to win by righteousness. Many of these contestants, time will tell when EFCC is after them. By the grace of the living God, we do not need just experience, we need a genius. A genius is a man who does the right thing the first time without precedent. I praise God for General Buhari, our president, and everyone in leadership today. But to take our nation forward, we need more than experience, we need genius. Listen to me. Many have gone left, right, visiting the delegates, inducing some of them with money, but we sat and we reached all the delegates without traveling anywhere, by bulk SMS, by robot, because we want a cutting-edge nation that will be in the forefront of science and technology that will move our nation far away from relying just on oil to infuse this energy. This is why I'm here. I'm stepping up by the grace of God and by your support to be the 16th President of Nigeria. My name is Tunde Bakare. Vote for me and vote for the future of our nation. Thank you.
Excellency, Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and your dear lovely wife. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and your dear lovely wife. Rotimi Amechi. Your Excellency and the delegates, I just turned 57. I may not be the youngest candidate, but I'm not the oldest candidate. Your Excellency, in my 57 years of living, I will urge this House for a minute silence for all those who died in the war and those who died in the course of the terrorism and all others who have died in the course of insecurity. May their soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Your Excellency, in my 57 years of existence, I want to tell Nigerians and the delegates who are here, don't vote for me if I'm not qualified. Your Excellency, I want this debate or discussion or campaign to be about our referendum, to be a referendum on our performance. Your Excellency, I am the most experienced of all the candidates. Your Excellency and Nigerians, I was elected Speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, and I served for 2 terms. Your Excellency, while serving as Speaker, I was the chairman of the State Speakers of Nigeria twice. After that, Your Excellency, I became the governor of Rivers State, and I served for 2 terms. Your Excellency, after serving for 2 terms, in the course of my service to my colleagues as Speaker, as Governor, I was elected the Chairman of Governors Forum twice. Your Excellency, by your grace and the grace of God, you appointed me the Minister for Transportation. Again, I served twice. Your Excellency, you appointed me the Director General of your campaign. Again, I served twice. Your Excellency, the first Nigerian in the history book of Nigeria to have, in conjunction with others, not alone, led a campaign that removed the sitting government to bring in the opposition. Everybody in the party will attest to the fact that I, Chibike Rotimi Amechi, worked very hard, sleepless nights, to ensure with others that Nigerians elected our dear president. Your Excellency, while serving as the governor of Rivers State, I got Rivers State government to build between 300 to 500 primary schools. And I made sure that the children of the poor, anybody who attended our primary school, we paid school fees for them. Education was free. Your Excellency, we built about 150 health centers, for which every patient was treated free of charge. When we say free of charge, the Rivers State government paid for all patients at the end of the month. Your Excellency, the Rivers State government employed 400 new doctors. By the time I was leaving government, we had 600 doctors. We bought 600 cars for the 600 doctors as a way of retaining their services in Rivers State. And then we discovered that the only way to stop insecurity is to build an alternative economy to crime. The crime economy was such a huge economy when I became the governor of Rivers State. We built 500 roads, we built 300 to 500 health centers, primary schools, we built 150 health centers, we built power. And we employed people. We invested in agriculture. We had the Songhai farm. And by the time we were leaving government, crime had reduced, insecurity had reduced, kidnapping had reduced. My expectation, sir, is that all those who have come here to speak should have told Nigerians what they have done in their states. Judge me by my work. Yesterday, when I became the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, railway was moribund. Today, there is railway from Itabetuwari. Today, there is railway from Lagos to Ibadan. Today, there is railway from Abuja to Kaduna. Today, work is ongoing from Kano to Kaduna. Today, work is ongoing from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. Your Excellency, your government is the first government that will build the first deep sea port in Nigeria, and it is located at Lekki. It was started by this government, and it will be concluded in September. So please, delegates, assess us by our contributions. Don't vote for me if I have not performed, but I have performed. I have. And I have decided with my wife and children, with my friends and relations, that there is a need to move forward, to come forward to provide service to the country, to ask Nigerians to hire me and to fire me if I can't deliver. You said 10 minutes more. Thank you very much. If you vote for me, I shall do the following. The first thing is that you need to create an economy that will create employment. Ask all politicians who are telling you they will create employment to tell you how. These delegates must use that word, how will you do this? The Nigerian economy moved from agrarian economy to service economy. I shall bring it back to agrarian economy, to industrialization and production. If you don't produce, crime will continue. But it is production that creates jobs. We will grow farm, we will grow cocoa, we will grow banana, we will grow cotton. We will add value to it. It is the value addition that creates jobs. We will rebuild our universities to become a place of learning. And the first policy, when you elect me, there will be rule of law and order. Anybody who commits crime will be punished for committing crime. People will not be let off the hook because you are important. Your lives are important. Trust me. Do what? Trust me. I'm very sure of you are honest. May God bless you as you go out there, challenged by God, challenged by your conscience, and put your money in your pocket and vote for Chibike with me and God bless you.
Vice President, leaders of our nation, leaders of our party. First, let me start by thanking God Almighty that I'm here with you today. Because if this convention has taken place when it was scheduled to take place on the 30th, I wouldn't have been here with you because I was somewhere in detention. But thank God Almighty that God in His infinite mercy saw us postpone this convention. Hence I'm here, and I'm here to address you. I'm not privileged to be one of those who made the list of preferred candidates of this convention. Neither do I enjoy. I'm an ordinary Nigerian who depends on the people to be elected, and for the people as my strength, and for the people to serve. The people are my strength in this case. I'd like to remind all of us again that power is a trust which can only be justified when used for the benefit of the common man. You must hear me and hear me out again. This nation this time must get it right. I want to say to you, my delegates, especially those of you in partnership, the hour has come, the die is cast. You must search your conscience. If possible, make phone calls back to your family and ask them, what must I do with the vote that I have? Lest you go back again, wallowing in hunger and poverty, which have left you in perpetual suffering. I hate injustice and I hate poverty.
My president!
I have confidence with God Almighty that when He blesses me, I shall bless others. And when He gives me, I must share with those who do not have. Because on my own, I can do nothing. But I can do all things to God who will make me straight. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, my insistence in politics, after my traverse in politics, having formed this party, the APC, I have every reason to quit politics. For when I remember the poor, the widows, the sick, the needy, our nation bleeding, when I remember the insurgents, then I have reason to come back. I'm here to serve you.
I believe you!
I've run for this presidency in a third time. And I lack nothing. And I'm not in this presidency for primitive accumulation of wealth. I'm not here to buy cars or buy aircraft. I'm not here for anything. I'm here for one thing. To save the lives of the numerous poor Nigerians while uniting this nation.
My president!
Nigeria must hear me out. Today, my dear delegates, destiny has bestowed on you the onerous responsibility to decide for us who shall fly the flag of our party. You must never do that with sentiments. Let me tell you, all this dramatic political jingoism which is going on here does not address the matter before us. I don't want anyone to step down for me. If you can step down the sufferings of the masses of Nigeria. I'm qualified in the three arms of government. I'm a lawyer, master's degree. I have experience in judiciary. I'm a former governor of Imo State 2 times. I have experience in executive. And I'm a sitting senator. I have experience in the legislature. I have this experience in all aspects of our nation. So to you, my delegates, thank God that this power today is not in the hand of the high and mighty. It's in your hand. I don't know what they may have told you. I don't know what they must have said to you. You must think twice before you cast this vote. Because when you go back in poverty and anger and hunger, no one is there with you. I'm your best partner. I hear every aspirant here saying, I will, I will, I will. I don't say I will, I say I have done it. Listen, let me go through for the first time. I'm the commander of free education, who saw children not going to school, provided school for them. I don't want Nigeria who started to Guna. I told you, Nana, some so who sent you one. How could they win master you when they are bureaucrats? No, so who can bear that Guna. Look, Suleiman Takra Sugaban Kasan. Capability. Wallahi billahi lazi. Basu se masala arewa ba, basu se nderijan arewa ba. Ni Rochas danji kan se kote na se masala arewa. Kutambe suguna. Kuna sutambada. Ne kutaba ina arewa. Yenzu watu anzo siasa seku tasha seku na hokoina. Ati abamu Korea. Kuime de Korea. Bakusemu tunda ba say yenzu. Yodara che kamu yada. Omunandi gom. Afom Rochas. Uka bara ba isi keje koya. Onebara suya so ipe. Onebara suya so nana. I speak again. Let me tell you, no, the last part. Everybody in this case, let me tell you why I'm a better candidate. I hear people talk about track record. Believe me, let me say this. And don't tell anybody anywhere. The truth is, everyone contesting this election today is government that made them. None of them made wealth before government. So if they give you money, it's government money. But Rochas was Rochas before politics. And I'm the business argument to create wealth. And I can create wealth. My people, my paper. God bless you.
Nigeria youth. Your Excellency, I am 40 years old. First of all, let me thank the President for signing the Not Too Young to Run Law bill, which gave me the opportunity in 2008, when I was just 37 years old, to run for president. When I came out, everybody said, nobody knows you, you won't win. Everybody said, don't attempt it. But I went ahead, and I came third in the general election. When nobody thought it would happen, it was then I knew that dreams can still come to pass in Nigeria. It was then I knew that the son of a nobody can still become somebody in Nigeria. It was then I knew that the son of a retired civil servant whose pension is just 9,000 naira a month can still become somebody in Nigeria. With that effort, I decided to come the second time under this great platform, the All Progressive Congress. I have traveled to several states. I have met youth. I have spoken to youth. I discovered we have been marginalized. The only title they know how to give us as youth is to be SSA running around without offices. When the bill came, when the fee for the nomination form came, like every other person, I was going to be discouraged. But I refused to be discouraged. I said I must stand to represent the youth. After a while, going through the record, like the sons of Issachar, I understand the time that we are in. I understand that we must put personal interest aside. I understand we must think about the people who are dying every day. We must think about those who have just been killed. I understand that we must think about the youth. After careful consideration, I looked at it. If you look at it very carefully, we have the North, we have the South. And I thank God for all our northern governors. For what you guys did, I throw a salute for you all. For allowing power to go to the South, I throw a salute. But I must say, apart from the North and the South, Nigerians are divided into two religions. We have East Muslim and Christian. I grew up with Muslim, wonderful people. Many of them are my friends. But we cannot have a Muslim and Muslim ticket in this election. And that's why have decided to step down and throw my full support to His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Listen to me, all my delegates. Many of you I spoke to you one-on-one. Many of you I called. Even until yesterday, I am asking if you want the youth voice to be heard in Nigeria. If you want the youth to be in the cabinet, vote for Yemi Osinbajo. I have come to throw my full weight. I have come to support him. God bless the youth of Nigeria. God bless the All Progressive Congress. God bless Nigeria. I'll see you on the other side of victory.
At the Eagle Square to organize Nigerian youth, both Muslims and Christians, to organize prayer for my president, to organize prayer for this great nation. Because I said, as a little orphan boy who lost his parent at a young age, when I was just a teenager, we can't afford to keep losing our president. And I organized prayers here, 3 nights and 3 days of fasting and prayers. And I said I will do that with young boys and young women. And we did. This is my second appearance right here, standing on the stage to speak to Nigerians again, to thank these wonderful youths that came down here and organized a prayer session with me, to pray for this great country and for the wellness of our president. NTA covered that event live right here. And I'm happy to say to God, thank you. Because the president that we prayed for is right here before us. Again, thank you, God. Thank you, the youth of this great nation. I am the 6th child of my late parents' children. My mother was a brilliant woman who died when she was 42. I was 10 years old. My father was a soldier that fought the Civil War and had bullet wounds and retired at the age of 27. My late mother struggled to go to school, but she got a wonderful man that promised to get married to her. It was back in the days in the village. If you are so brilliant as a woman, all the men will flock around you. And they promised this woman marriage. He got this woman pregnant and made her to leave school, shattered that dream. The man just walked away. The second man came because she became vulnerable, promised her marriage again, and then got her pregnant and walked away again. And the third man came, promised her marriage, she believed him, got her pregnant, and walked away again. She was heartbroken. She resulted to be in a tomato cellar, helping carry around the village. And one of those good old days, she traveled by boat, 12 hours by boat, from my village to Port Harcourt. And she met this wonderful handsome man who just left the military because he had bullet wounds. They got talking and they got married and gave birth to 5 children. I happen to be the 6th child. My parents had wonderful dreams. My mother had wonderful dreams. She couldn't realize it. And when they gave back to us, we didn't know what they were going through. I was born in the city of Port Harcourt and River State on the 28th day of January 1975. My parents in Port Harcourt, they didn't live in the city, they lived on the water side because they were Ijaw people. But life became so tough and they decided to retire back to the village. Back in the village, I was there at the age of about 8. My mother was just hawking around and I used to hawk with this wonderful woman. There's something she did. After selling her goods, she will always share the rest for the rest of the family members. And one day, this woman took ill and was rushed in the hospital. She couldn't afford a medical bill that was just less than 15 Nigerian naira. In my very eyes, this strong woman that I used to hawk around with couldn't walk. And my father just left us. We didn't know where he went. And in my very eyes, she died. And when she died, I felt the life was over. I retired back to the village through the same boat I became a little fisher boy at the age of 10. An orphan boy without father, without mother. Paddling canoe all through the night to the next morning trying to survive. I was in primary school till I was 15 years old. And after primary school, I said to myself, I remember I was born in the city where there were sounds of cars and birds making noise and singing those melodious songs. I'm going to return back to that city. I got on the boat back to the city, not knowing where to go to. But when I arrived in the city at night, I said to myself, this is where I was born. I was just sleeping under the bridges, trying to survive, trying to make ends meet. Sometimes no food to eat. I would knock on gates trying to ask for a job. One of those days I remember what happened. I knocked at the gate of a man and he said, can you help me move out all the physics in the soccerway? And I told him, yes, I can do it. He got me a wooden ladder and I moved into the soccerway using buckets to move Sokoto State, in Kano State, in Kaduna State. I'm building 356 abolition centers at the Sultan Bello Mosque for my Muslim brothers. In Castina, you see my footprint, providing water. In Gombe State, you see my footprint, providing water. In Bauchi State, you see my footprint, providing water. All over Nigeria, in the southeast Enugu State, providing water. In my Niger Delta region, helping people and all that. I am a development agent. This country needs a development agent. You need a president with the right visionary leadership. Listen to me. In 2023, the economy of this great country and the population will be challenged. The population of this country in 2023 will be 223 million. The population grow at 2.5%, which means 5.5 million of the population will be hard to it. The projected population is 22 million. It means the leadership of 2023 will deal with a population of 240 million. You need somebody that understands macroeconomic fundamentals and somebody that understands the dialectics of microeconomy to turn the economy around. You need to vote for Jack Rich. A vote for Jack Rich is a lot of job for you. A vote for Jack Rich is the brighter future. A vote for Jack Rich is a world where you have someone that negotiates for you in the Committee of Nations. A vote for Jack Rich is to turn this economy and create dreams for young ones like you. I'm here to ask you to vote for me so that we can work together, create jobs. The North, the East, the West, the South. Work with me. Vote for me.
Jack Rich!
Jack Rich! I want to thank you once more, knowing fully well.
Delegates from across the country of the All Progressives Congress. Before I proceed, permit me to seize this opportunity to ask all of you to please maintain one moment of silence for those that were killed in our war when they're worshiping God. For those that were killed in Sasa Market, in Ibadan, in Oyo State. For those that were killed, those tomato sellers, the ram and cow sellers that were burned down in their cold blood in all parts of this country. For those that were traveling from Abuja to Kaduna on train, and these cowards called bandits attacked, killed some, and some are still in captivity today. And for those that were murdered in their cold blood by bandits, Boko Haram, ISWAP, kidnappers, and the rest of them. Those that lost their lives, may their soul rest in perfect peace. Just one moment. May their soul rest in perfect peace. I start on this particular note because today that is the most challenging
issue that is bedeviling this nation, followed by unity of our dear country, followed by prosperity or progress. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will not bore you down too much with a lot of speeches. A lot of all of these problems that are confronting this nation today were bedeviling my state, Kogi State, as at the time I assumed office on 27th of January 2016. Insecurity, disunity, lack of progress and prosperity. 6 years down the line, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, insecurity is fast becoming a history in Kogi State. In Kogi State, unity of all of the tribes and religion is what we are enjoying in Kogi State. In Kogi State, there is religious tolerance. In fact, I am the first Muslim northern governor that built a chapel for our Christian brothers